Welcome to Subramani. So let me handle some of the comments which I have received. First one is by Srinath Padmanabhan, who says in general when a person joins an IT company like TCS or Wipro, he will get only 3.2 lakhs per annum when they start. If the person stays in the same company after 10 years, the salary will be only around 11 to 12 lakhs per annum. You are assuming that people start with 7 to 8 lakhs per annum salary, which is probably a very small percentage. Sure, it's a very small percentage, but they do exist. Like when we used to recruit, even a few years ago, we used to pay upwards of 10 lakhs to students starting with either a rank in CA or one of the bigger institutes or the better institutes, and 10 lakhs was not a very high salary even then. I'm talking about 4 or 5 years ago. I thought inflation should have caught up, but yes, but why would you not work for a better company and try to earn more, right? So are these good companies? Of course these are good companies, but these are bad companies when it comes to starting pay. Yes, they recruit a lot of people would give an arm and a leg to join there, but a lot of people will not join there because this is not a very attractive salary. I am not saying you should not take up a 3 lakh rupee salary, but the minute you get a 3 lakh rupee salary, there will be enough people wanting to poach you. So you should move to 6-7 lakhs very quickly. You should not be sticking around 10 years to reach a salary of 11 lakhs. Something is wrong with, I'm sure you can get a better job, get better educated, maybe your engineering degree is not adequate, go and cap it up with an MBA. I don't know, but I do think salaries have improved. You have to look for better salaries also, apart from whatever else I'm saying. And this comment came on how can you create 10 crores for yourself. Amit Kanjilal says if we take a home loan for 7% for 3 years, and if I am in the 30% tax bracket, I can build a wealth of 3 crores by doing SIP at 12% using 10,000 from tax savings from section 80C and section 24. Perfectly correct. If you can get a 30-year loan and you're sure nothing will happen to the interest rates in between, and you can get 12% consistently over this 30-year period, that is true. It is basic arithmetic, but life doesn't happen so smoothly. If everybody could borrow at 7% and invest at 12%, everybody would love to make that extra 5%, right? So that is the risk. So I am not suggesting that you borrow money and invest. To me, that doesn't make sense. Okay, Ms. Mary Awaz Suno, he's saying in India, if you don't own a house, you will be considered a failure. Even if it means you pay EMI for decades together, you will be termed as a sure failure if you stay in a rented house, even though you don't have any debt. No one is interested whether you're debt free or not. That's your problem, right? So if you are worried about what others will think, so be it. To me, it doesn't matter what others think, right? And I think Pranav Marchand has said exactly that. Why are you interested in what others think? So if you're interested in what others think, you should let others decide on your portfolio. That's not me, right? Sauvik Chatterjee is saying, is land a better option in my locality at Bengal? My father bought 3 khatta of land at 54,000. Now the land, their rate is 3 lakhs khatta in 22 years. That's a good number, saying it has become 6 times, right? 54,000 has become about 5.8 times, which has become 3 lakh. So it has become 6 times in 22 years. If you're happy with that kind of a return, yes. But I still do not know whether going forward it will happen. So it's your call. First of all, learn to calculate returns. Go to an Excel sheet and don't just talk about 3 lakhs, 50,000 becoming 3 lakhs. 6 times in 22 years is not something sensationally great. But if you are happy with that return, that's fine. But don't think the same thing will happen again after 22 years. Your investment today, say you invest 10 lakhs, it may not become 2.2 crores, right? It may not become 6 times that amount. So if you invest 10 lakhs, it will not become 60 lakhs. It may not become. So be ready for that. Sir, please suggest where and how to invest. If you really do not know where to invest, you can come here and I will tell you only an index fund. If you want specific funds to be picked, you need to understand that you have to go to a personal financial advisor. Bloggers and people in the media can only give very, very broad things. I cannot say specifically where should you invest for each of your goals. So my suggestion is you first create your goals, and then also in parallelly look for an advisor and ask that advisor what to do, right? Your speak is mind opening. Okay, there is. Sir, I went to the Yamaha showroom for a new bike purchase. I went to the Yamaha showroom for a new bike purchase and happy with one model and asked for the quote. After getting the quote, I asked them to reduce 2K. I can buy with cash. They were not ready to reduce even one single rupee. In this case, how can people negotiate for bigger purchases? I am convinced that in the automobile industry, the margins are very low for the dealer. It's very unlikely that he will negotiate. But he still makes money by giving you a loan, and he makes money by selling insurance to you. If you pay cash, he loses that. If you say, I will buy insurance outside, he loses that. Then he will not reduce even 1 rupee unless 3-4 of you can go together and negotiate and things like that. That's very difficult. It's not easy. But when I said negotiate hard for the big things, negotiate smartly for your salary, negotiate smartly when you're buying real estate. If 5-6 of you buy a real estate together, which means 5 flats are being bought from one builder, obviously he will negotiate. But if you go to buy one bike, which anyway has a waiting list, very unlikely that people will listen to your bargaining pleas. Kindly make a video on index investing versus regular investing. I mean, there is nothing called index investing versus regular investing. When I'm saying index investing, you go through a direct plan. If you want to go through other funds, you better learn to pick those funds yourself, or you will need an advisor. Don't say, I will not learn, I will not go to an advisor, and I will invest in the funds which are non-index funds. That combination will not work. You will lose money after some time, and then you will come back and invest in an index fund, or then start finding an advisor. So I'm suggesting the normal route. Invest in an index fund, start looking for an advisor. After you find an advisor and you're convinced that he's going to add value to your life, then make those changes. But continue your index fund. Don't make any change in that. And after some time, if you find that your index fund is doing better than all the funds suggested by others, stop the others and do an index fund and start picking up one share every year. So over next 20-30 years, you will build up a decent portfolio. But stick to that I will not buy more than one share a year, or maybe 2 shares a year, definitely not beyond that. So mostly my suggestion is simple. Don't look to bloggers and authors and speakers to build your portfolio. We can all give only broad gyan. We can say this is what you should do very, very broadly. Specifically what you should do, only your personal financial advisor can do. Like, if I were a doctor, I would say, get up in the morning, go for a jog, and don't eat stuff which is bad for your heart, etc., etc. But specifically what you should do, whether running is good for you, whether going to the gym is good for you, what you should be eating, right? All that only a person who understands you and who understands the subject can advise. So I keep saying this. This is a Morgan Housel quote, that personal finance is far more personal than about finance. So I have to know you very well. So asking these kind of questions doesn't really matter, right? Nitya Narayan says, how can we find a financial advisor planner? In every city there are good advisors and planners, and how to find, I've written about it in my blog subramani.com. So please go and Nitya, please go and have a look there. Indranil Sinha says, if everything is uncertain in the future, what exactly is your advice? Very simple. Because there is more uncertainty, you need to invest more smartly, and finding yourself an advisor, taking insurance, or investing in an index fund. All those things you have to do. More the uncertainty, greater is the amount to be invested, and you have to sit calmly during crises like COVID. Thank you. Let's catch up after some time. Thank you.